So in the first circle, you drew an inscribed angle. Second circle, central angle. Second circle, inscribed angle. Here's what I'd like you to do right now. Label that central angle with arc AB and then put a random point C somewhere else on the circle. Let's call it circle O. And then over on your inscribed angle, let's call this, anybody circle what? E, you got it, circle E. All right, and let's call the angle XYZ. What I'd like you to do right now, please, how do you find the measure of angle AOB? And how do you find the measure of angle Y? That's great that you guys know how to make them, but do you know how to find them now? Okay, let's start hearing from you. How do you find angle AOB up here? Angle AOB, how do we find it? Here we go, let's go 6. How do I find it? I just want to know how to find the central angle. It's always equal to its, okay, that's all. So the measure of AB. That's all I was looking for, okay? How do you find any inscribed angle? What do I do on that one? Let's roll 10. Oh, I'm just going to have to 1 and 10 from now on, right? 26. Inscribed angle. Don't remember that at all? Look back at your notes. Here we go. I'm not going to give this one for, no? Okay, make sure we watch the video here. 12. Half of its arc, in particular, half of measure of arc XZ. All right, everybody good? Little review of how to find angles inside a circle. Now, will those be the only 2 types of angles found inside the circle? The answer is no. Where's the vertex for a central angle? Center. Where's the vertex for an inscribed? On the circle. What if it's just floating? That's what we're talking about today. The third and final type of angle inside a circle, I'm going to refer to as a floater angle. Why? Because look at the vertex. It's just floating inside the circle somewhere. All right. How do I find a floater angle? It's going to be half of 2 arcs added together. The first arc is going to be its intercepted arc. And here's what I mean. The arc that the floater angle creates. That's what I always mean by intercepted arc. The arc that the angle makes. Plus its vertical angle's intercepted arc. So you're going to take its arc plus its vertical angle's arc, multiply by 1/2 or divide by 2, whatever floats your boat. Here's an example using this diagram up here. Somebody give me name a floater angle up there, an angle that's just the vertex is floating inside the circle. Okay. What? 3. Name an angle up there that would be considered a floater angle. DCE, love it. Angle DCE, everyone. Ready? Here's how I would find DCE. It's going to be half of, name its intercepted arc, DCE. What arc is created by angle DCE up here? Here you go, 21, DCE. So I'm going to take arc DE, the measure of arc DE, and add its vertical angles arc to it. Right there for you. Got it all set up. Thank you, sir. Vertical angles arc, name it. 6. AB. Nice job. Does everyone see how it's going to work now? A floater angle. Half of its arc plus its vertical angle's arc. Simple, simple. Let's apply it. Simple stuff here. Let's apply it. Just so you know, X is not at the center, so it's not a central angle. So it's got to be a floater angle. So X will be equal to, and I know this is very basic, but I'm still going to ask you, 28. Name the arc formed by angle X. What's the measure of it? 88. So I'm going to take half of. Whoa, okay, keep going there, superstar. I didn't know I called on you, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep. 88, and its vertical angles arc, 86, yep. Yeah. I'm just wondering what most of you are doing on your calculators when I'm asking you to take the average of 88 and 86. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Sometimes I'll give you the floater angle. Does everyone see in number 2, I gave you the floater angle of 65? Bless you. All right. So I know the floater angle now is 65. How is it formed? I took half of, what arc belongs? 6. What arc belongs to that floater angle? The arc that belongs to 60. I know 65. You're rattled today. Already? The arc that belongs to the 65. Okay, we're good. Get your act together before your number comes up again. 2. What's its vertical angles arc? That is X. Now, I'm going to show, I don't know how many people are doing this right now. I prefer not to distribute 1/2. Just because I don't have to deal with fractions over here. So I get rid of the 1/2 right now. But it's your preference. If you rather distribute the 1/2 and get after it that way, that's fine. I just don't like to deal with the fraction, so I get rid of the 1/2 by multiplying both sides by 2. I multiply both sides by 2. And if you decide to do that, on the right side, 2 and 1/2, that's it. They're gone. The 100 and the X stay the same. You're not distributing anything. And then on the other side, I have a $1.30. So we end up with X to be 30. You guys have any questions? Because we're going to get a lot tougher now. Any questions on these 2 basics using a floater angle? All right, let's get a little tougher. I don't know what happened. Number 3 didn't come with a diagram, but there you go. There it is. I'll give you a second to copy it. Sorry, it didn't come with a diagram, but there it is. Okay, here's where our mindset should be right now. And I'm going to keep saying this, and you hopefully it gets into your mindset as well. Angle X is inside the circle. There are 3 types of angles. Go through the checklist right now in your mind. Is it a central angle? Is angle X a central angle? No, because the vertex is not the center. Is it inscribed? Is that an inscribed angle, angle X? No, the vertex is not on the circle. Therefore, it's got to be a floater angle. All right? Before I deal with any of the numbers up here, in terms of arcs, I'm going to take 1/2 of what 2 arcs right now added up. Forget about the measures and the ratios that are up there. What 2 arcs am I going to add together and take half of? Let's do this. 26, what do you got for me? ABC, which belongs to angle X, plus its vertical angles arc, DFG. All right, that's our plan. All right, I got numbers, arcs, and a ratio. Those numbers alone do not mean anything until I put what with them? X's with them, all right? So everyone label ABC as, that's what I was thinking, 2x. CD as 3x. DFG as x. And AG as 4x. Well, what the heck am I going to do with all those? I need actual measures to plug into the formula. What can I do with all those to maybe find the measure of the arcs? All those arcs add up to what for a full circle? 360. There it is. Let's solve for x now. So I have 2x plus a 4x plus an x plus another 3x equal to 360. I got it. How many do I have there? 10 x's? So x equals 36. Go ahead, plug in x now. Find all the arcs, or you don't need to find all the arcs, just the ones you need, I guess. But if you wanted to find all of them, go ahead. What's your measure of ABC now? Here you go, 19. What's your measure of ABC? 72. Everyone all right? How she got it? 72, 2 times 36. And what about DFG? DFG, 12. What about DFG? 36. If you want to find the other two, that's fine. We don't need them in this problem. So 1/2 of 72 and 36. We're taking 1/2 of a $1.08. And that'll be 54 degrees for angle X. Questions before we get to the type of problems you're going to become very, very familiar with now. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I would like to now introduce you to big dog circle questions right now. Big dog circle questions. Come on, let's go. 0 for 4. Let's go. Unless anybody want to add one on here. Anybody want to add one on there before we vote? Flip. Shatter. Any others? Before we vote? Jeannie? Star. Clock. Curtains. Slide. Slide. Fade. Cube. Shatter. Flip. Genie. All right, here you go. Shatter the man himself. Gonna go backwards here because this is the last one. Here you go. The man or shatter. Here we go. Ooh, oh, the genie. Nice. I love it when people don't pick it. Let's go back. Just laughing at you right now. Just toying with you. All right, here we go. I refer to these as the big dog circle problems because you can see tons of lines flying and it's a multi-part question. All right, let's just go through all the givens and we'll take this step by step. First one, we're told DC is tangent. Perfect. At H, so H is my point of tangency. AEH. Everyone identify that arc. AEH, $1.10. So from A to E to H, I have 110 degrees. However you want to label that, do so. All right, 110 degrees for AEH. Arc AG, 80 degrees. So go from A to G, that's 80 degrees. And very similar to last problem, two arcs are in a ratio of 2 to 3. So what would you like me to put on arc AE? How should I label arc AE? It's in a ratio of 2 to 3, so arc AE should be labeled as 2x, while arc EH should be labeled as 3x. Okay? Here's what I'm going to suggest you do. Don't try to look at all the parts right now and try to solve them one by one. Try to find the arc measures if you can. If you guys know the arc measures, everything else will take care of it itself. All right? Can you find all the arcs? That's the power in this big dog circle questions. Find the darn arcs. I don't care what A through E says. I'll worry about it after I find the arcs. Are there any arcs up here that you can find and need help finding them here? Rose, go ahead. There you go. I at least know the 2x and the 3x add up to 110. So 5x equals 110. The value of x. What do you have as the value of x? 22. All right, now that you know x is 22, actually find the measure. Oh, what's up, Madeline? What did I do? Oh, go ahead. You want to tell me the measure of the arcs? Okay, I'll get back to you then. Arc AE, everyone. The measure of arc AE? 44. And how about the measure of arc EH? 66. Got it. Are there any more arcs, Madeline, I can find? Okay, let me talk about this. She's absolutely correct. A lot of things. One thing in particular when it comes to these problems, kids always overlook is a darn diameter. If there's a diameter drawn in, it cuts that circle into 180 degrees, remember. All right, so that's where she got the 100 if you were worried. And how about HB? Why don't we solve this now? HB should be 70 because it's another half circle and the rest of it was 110. All right, I got all the arcs. Time to go to work. Oh, GB, already found it. Look at that. Already found it, 100. Arc EA, oh, already found it, 44. Look how easy this is when you just worry about the arcs at first and not the questions. EFA, all right, now we got to do work. EFA, go through the checklist. Central angle, yes or no? No. Inscribed? Nope, so it's got to be floater angle, which we've been talking about today. How do you find a floater angle? 1/2. What arc belongs to EFA? What is the measure of the arc that belongs to EFA? 8, what do you got for me? What's the arc that belongs to it? 44 plus its vertical angles arc. What's its vertical angles arc? 12 vertical angles arc? 100. There it is. So I'm going to take half of 144, and that'll be 72. I am also going to suggest when you find an angle, put it in your diagram. You never know, you may need it down the line. All right, so EFA 72. It may make things easier for you down the line. Label your diagram now with it. FEB, everyone ready? FEB, take a look at where FEB is. Central. Inscribed. Got it. Yeah, inscribed. Vertex is on the center, on the circle. So I'm going to take half of which arc? What arc belongs to FEB? Name what is the measure of that arc? 7. What's the measure of the arc? 100. Yep. So that's going to be 50. You never know. Let's throw a label on that. Might need that. Who knows? And then finally, OHD. OHD. Okay, everyone stop. I just need everyone's focus here for 1 second. OHD, you see H is on the circle, so it's like inscribed, inscribed, inscribed. No. Inscribed angle, both the sides have to be chords, remember. Okay, both sides, if it's an inscribed angle, yes, the vertex needs to be on the circle, but the two sides need to be chords, and I hate to break it to you, DH isn't a chord. So how else am I going to find this? DC's tangent, right? And what is OH? Radius. What happened yesterday when I drew a radius to the point of tangency? It was perpendicular, which forms a? There it is. 90 degrees. Questions? You may run, you may run into a couple of problems tonight when you do a couple of the big dog circle problems. Listen, if you cannot find an angle right away, try to find angles around it. Okay, for instance, let's say you couldn't find this angle right here, but you knew the angle next to it was 72. How can you find the angle? Subtract from 180. Okay, so if you can't find an angle in a big dog circle question right away, try to find angles around it. All right, that'll help you find it. All right, get going. You can work with other people if you like, move around. Get the review problem done if you need to.